Well, good afternoon, Chameleon Academy. Welcome to this fine weekend, which has been, of course, lately the weather has been very foggy in the morning, which is my favorite weather. So I'm pretty happy about this. Hello, everybody in the chat. Welcome. And let's see. Oh, I got to announce, if you're watching this on replay, know that you can be part of the live studio audience and in this chat, which is hopping right now. It just happens every Saturday at 12 noon Pacific, and you're invited. Just come hang out. You don't even have to make yourself known. You can just hang out in the background and just watch the shenanigans going on. Although this is Saturday, and so I am trying to actually impart knowledge. This is a Saturday Chameleon workshop. That means we're serious about chameleon education. And when we're serious, you know this show, we're serious. That's right. That's right. No shenaniganing here. All right. Hello. Hey, we've got Danish Diamond Chameleons. That would be Leander. For some reason, YouTube has really messed up all of the screen names here. So, all right. We're just going to have to get to know new names for everyone. We've got Marsha from Georgia, Joanne from Canada, Liza Ann from Utah, James Cross from good old California. Hello, James. And, oh, Geraldine. Do I know where Geraldine's from? I don't. Did you have a birthday last Saturday? Oh, that sounds like a Nate question. Yeah, Nate. Nate turned 35. Congratulations, Nate, for making it to 35. Yeah. All right. Yes. Liz Ann says Wednesday we goof off. That's right. Saturdays were very serious, always serious. But we're going to have to do a serious letting off of the fog. I just turned on the lights in here, and yeah, it's been quite foggy. Let's see. But you know what? If James is here, we got to do the fog. Oh, yeah. Woo. Now, let's see. Oh, Geraldine's from Pennsylvania. Excellent. Okay, I got that now. Hey, Tony, time is getting short. Hope you're all ready to go for Madagascar. Yes, it is time for me to go and start buying everybody. And for the Madagascar travelers, I'm going to start posting some hints as to things to bring to Madagascar. Little hints and tips you're not going to find in the travel guides, like the right electronic thing. You've got to get the adapter with a what is it? The one thing has a multiple pugs, a little power strip, so you can put in all of your things to recharge your headlamp, recharge your phone, recharge all the various things we have to recharge your rechargeable batteries. So, woof. Lisa says, if I shenan once, I'm gonna shenan again. That's pretty good. Okay, anybody wants a dad joke? We've got, that's even better than a dad joke. All right, Lisa wins the joke of the afternoon. Bring licorice, red licorice vines. The kids love it. Yes, James brought this big tub of red vine licorice, and we enjoyed that throughout the entire trip, and he shared with kids. Me, I bring dog treats so I can share with the dogs. And everybody, you'll notice that I did find the mushroom cup today, so I am drinking from the mushroom cup. But I also found just a little bit of the coffee. So, but it's just a little bit. So I'm going to have a little bit of this. Oh, that's interesting. That's like the bottom of the jar, the pot, bottom of the pot coffee right there. It's a little bit, has that little charred taste to it. All right. What is it that we have to talk about today? We're going to be talking about the 4 fun chameleon projects, because this week's theme is the second stage of growth in the chameleon, on your chameleon journey. That's the learn. No, not learn, understand. And this is the real fun stage. This is the stage where you don't know enough to go, oh my gosh, we know nothing. You've just figured out your husbandry. You're feeling on top of the world. Nothing can stop you now. And the world is your oyster. There's all sorts of stuff out there. And you are not burdened with realistic expectations. So you can do anything. And so here's a couple of fun, you can do anything projects in the chameleon community. We're going to be talking about that. So Tony says, let's make mushroom cup mandatory for Saturdays. The thing is, I can't always find the mushroom cup. Sometimes it's elsewhere, on other missions, apparently. I am not its only drinker. So I will try. I'll try. But sometimes it's off doing other things. Let's see. Lisa's saying, my new girl came in this week. She's so tiny. Scares me. New girl? What do you, Lisa, remind me what you're getting, what you got. Is this, yeah. Well, I won't even guess. Go ahead and put it in the chat. Let me know what you got. Oh, Ambanja female. Ambanja female, not even 3 months old yet, from Camouflage. Oh, very nice. Yeah, you're going to get some good colors out of that one, I'm betting. So, First question of the day. Bill, do any of your kids keep critters? The answer is no, they don't. My daughter would keep cats, except my wife is allergic to cats. So she just hangs out. My kids, it is interesting because they have grown up around lots of exotic critters. It's like they did not know a time or what life looks like without living inside of the most incredible jungle you could imagine. And so all of this doesn't hold the wonder for them that it does for me or for us. In fact, they were very surprised when they went out into the real world and they ran into people who didn't know that chameleons were actually really real things. And I mean, my daughter, she's lived for a time on a reptile breeding facility on Java and Bali. Well, bird breeding in Bali. So she doesn't know a life without all of this awesomeness around her. And so when she went to normal Muggle school, just so surprised that people, number one, weren't sure that chameleons were actually really lizards. And when she showed them a chameleon, they just go, oh my gosh, this is so incredible. And that's when she realized, oh, maybe I've lived an interesting life. My son got interested in frogs a little while ago. And so we had a lot of frogs, but then he lost interest in that. And neither one of them have gone back to keeping critters. But I will say that my daughter is preparing every time I go to Madagascar. She is the chameleon wrangler here. And she takes care of, she does an incredible job taking care of them, making sure they're watered and fed and moved into the right place. And so in a way, they do, she does help. She does help. All right, let's go through the chat. Just make sure. James says, hi, I grew up without animals. My parents were fully anti. The minute I got out of the house, I went animal nuts. Yeah, that's what happens. They don't know how lucky they are. Actually, Geraldine, she's recognized that. She has said, I never realized how cool my childhood was until I met people who didn't have as cool of a childhood. She appreciates it now. She appreciates it. And James is experiencing this as well. My kids grew up with all kinds of animals. They want nothing to do with them. So, all right. Actually, I'm interested. Those of you, I put in the chat. What are your experiences both with growing up with the animals and your kids? Uh, how many people here grew up with chameleons all over the place, but their kids are no longer interested? Does this really hold true that what your kids are growing up with, they don't think is special? So tell me, if you grew up with animals, do you still think animals are cool? If your kids grew up with animals, do they think animals are cool? What are your experiences? Oh, Stinky is here. Janet grew up with animals, reptiles, and wildlife. Dad taught me so much. So Janet broke that mold. Justin is has never grown up. So okay, he's still in the kid phase. Nate had anti-reptile parents. Didn't get back into reptile series in the late 20s. Mm-hmm. There's just says I was a kid who drug home all the strays I grew up with: cats, dogs, and rodents. Everything. Oh. Emily, most know, grew up with horses and all sorts of things. She loves her steaks. Yes, Emily is Janet's daughter, so she's been exposed to all sorts of fun stuff. Swinky, just got my first apartment. I've gone completely nuts. Yeah, that's what I did when I got my first apartment. My first apartment by myself, no roommates. I turned my dining room into a free range. I don't recommend anybody do this. This was 1, 2, 3. This is 35 years ago that I did this, and I do not recommend it. I would have done it a whole lot better if I knew then what I know now, but I didn't. Yes, and when the Jackson's chameleons had babies, I was finding little baby chameleons all over my apartment. Allow me to tell you, don't do what I did. Please don't. Let's see. Eliza Ann says, I grew up with a few exotic but common pets such as birds for a time, guinea pigs, a rabbit. I now make sure I always have some kind of cool animal. So my child has always grown up with some kind of cool pet. Chameleons, hamsters, and hopefully one day she wants a hognose. Hognose are awesome. So, all right. So let's talk about 4 fun chameleon projects. These are things that once you get husbandry under your belt, what are projects that you can do? Oh, wait a minute. We haven't gotten to announcements yet. Coming soon. We have an app for our podcast that is coming soon. I've got the beta test and some feedback from the beta test, and I am making those changes and integrating, making better so I can actually do the first release. And I hope to have the first release done in week after next. Yeah, week after next. Week after this is Saturday. So week after next, by then, if not by the end of this week. But the thing is, Apple takes time to think about things. Now, this will come out on the iPhone first. That's because I need to make it work on the phone that I have. So I'm not getting into the iPhone versus Android debate. Unless it's with my daughter, then I am absolutely team Apple because she's Android and she is against evil empires. And me, I am for evil empires, at least when my daughter's around. When my daughter's not around, then it just happens to be the phone that I have, and I really enjoy it. But I don't have anything against Android. But that's the phone I have, so that's why we do iPhone first, and then Android is going to come very soon after that. So it's going to be a very cool podcasting app, and I'm going to give you a spoiler alert. There are going to be major upgrades to this app throughout 2026. I have an entire year of features planned, and the thing is different now is I'm in control. I am designing this app. I have my hands in the code, and so I am able to make it do what serves our community best, not just trying to get this plain label like I did before, where they're just going to give me the basics everybody gets. This is going to have special features for us. So I am enjoying I am enjoying this process. The first one's going to be a basic podcast player. We need to get that basic functionality done. After that, we go forward. But I will say right now, we're not going to be doing the doom scroll thing. We are not going to be doing unhealthy things, but there will be some community features. That is the way. It is the way. Oh, Leander says, I'm 11 years old and you help my dad with his geckos and I get money that I use on chameleons. Ha! Perfect. That's the way of it. That is awesome. That is awesome. Oh, well, the dark side has apples, so it's a no-brainer. Yes, this is correct. James says, holy smokes, Natural Chameleon Academy app. Get out of here, mister. This is correct. This is correct. Liza and Androidian here. Okay, we've got both sides. Everybody be cool to each other. Come on, be cool to each other. We'll have care guides. Liza Parsons care guides. All right, I am being very... The answer is maybe. Yes. Well, the answer is kind of yes, but that's going to be farther into the future. This is not going to turn into a mobile reference. It's not going to turn into a replacement for the website. It's going to be an audio platform. So there's going to be audio guidance, shall we say. And my number one goal is that when you use this app, you feel good about yourself and you feel good about the community. And I want this to be an extension of the cool experiences that we have here that make this fun to be part of. And yes, you can do that with a simple app. I've got ideas. I've got crazy ideas. I think you guys will enjoy the crazy. Hey, you know what? At the very least, you're going to enjoy the ride. I will. Oh, he says my kids love animals. My son is autistic, so he really is into the look, don't touch animals. Lisa, it's amazing. I don't know if you have listened to my podcast. I did an episode on chameleons and kids, and I talked to parents of autistic children, and I guess I didn't know what to expect, but I was surprised at how perfect. Usually we say kids and chameleons don't mix, but it was amazing how perfect of a pet a chameleon was for these autistic kids. It was, and it really helped bring them out of their shell. It's an amazing episode. It's one of those episodes where I, as a person, grew and learned something. It was so cool. And I don't know if anybody's interested in this episode. It's just go on your podcast player and say chameleons and kids, and the episode. Of course, it's still up. So enjoy. Uh-oh. Nate's saying, yeah, Nate's saying that. Nate has a significant influence on life and such. Okay, so let's go to 4 paths for growth, and this is for when you're done, you're feeling good about your husbandry, you're not worried about your chameleon dying, you've got the basics down. You may not understand everything, may not be able to explain it, but you're to the point where you're now able to say, hey, let's see what other cool stuff is out there in the world. And so, let's see. Animals are so therapeutic, especially for those on the ASD spectrum. I am finding that more and more, and one would wonder if that's one reason why I have enjoyed animals so much. I think I flirt with the spectrum. Lisa says, my son White is very interested in his little walking encyclopedia on care and parameters, and he even gets on to me when he thinks Gizmo has been out long enough and needs to be put back into a closure. Good job, Wyatt. Good job. She said, I love your chameleon and plant wrap. Oh, you're talking about the little thing around the edges here? Yeah. So, okay, 4 paths to growth. What are the 4 things, projects, the 4 fun things that you can do in your chameleon world once you get your husbandry down? Learn to code mobile apps. That's just a joke. That's what I'm doing, but that's just a joke. It's so really the first thing is get a microscope. Yes, you've heard me talk about this a lot, and this is why I put so much effort into making the hunting microscopic chameleon parasites course, because I believe it is the number one skill for those of us who love chameleons and want to improve the husbandry. Getting a microscope, that's the skill. If you'd say the number one thing to buy once you've got the husbandry down, that's the UVB meter. But I already take care of that in the first section, the learn section, because it's so important. After a UVB meter, microscope is the first big skill that I would say go for. Learn that. And all right, everybody, quiz time for those of you who have done parasites. What is this? This is a picture that I took. This is an actual thing that you will see in your microscope if you get a microscope. And this is very easy to see. You can see these at 200 times, 200 to 400 times magnification. And for those who, once you get into microscopes, you're going to find out that's very simple. That's very easy. It's when you start getting into 1,000 times magnification, it starts to get a little bit dicey. But there you go. So let's see. My next goal is the course on Microsoft. It is so much fun, Alicia. And of course, at the Chameleon Academy, you take that course. You're part of the forum where we all talk about this and we share our pictures and such. So let's see. Marcia Ann says pinworm. James says pinworm. Ooh, Leander says pinworm. This is absolutely correct. This is an oxyurid. This is a pinworm. The pinworm ova. This is what comes out in the fecal. This will turn into a worm, will crawl out of this. And what's very interesting is we will find pinworms in a reptile poop, but we won't find pinworms in we won't find pinworms in human poop. The reason is because they have different life cycles, and this is what we have to be very careful about in the chameleon and reptile world. So much of what we assume comes from human parasites, because there isn't a whole lot of money to study reptile parasites. I mean, we do, but can you imagine what it takes to document what a parasitic life cycle is? I mean, how do you follow a microscopic ova through all of its changes? Real challenge. And so, it's worth it to do it for humans, poultry, beef, and maybe pets. So suck at the large magnification on the microscope. Okay, the real, Nate, the real trick is to use your iPhone. I have a special adapter that goes onto the microscope, and I just zoom on the iPhone, and it is a pleasure to get it to the big magnifications. If you try to use the 40 times, and you've got the objectives, you've got the eyepieces, and it gets tough if you don't do it digitally. This is absolutely true. James copied me. Marsha, come on. We know. I mean, James has been doing this for all of no days. So the man knows what he's talking about. And we all give James a hard time because his microscope is still in the box. No. You have to unbox your microscope before you're allowed to answer. Yes. Well, okay then. So, everybody, what's this? What's this? I'm going to take a swig of coffee while you all. So, let's see. You all give your ideas what this is. Doesn't mean I'm not following along, you guys. I just haven't found any pinworms on my own. This is correct. We once you get into the forum for our parasite class, I have been known to post pinworm ova just for fun. So the pinworm ova is what you're going to find the most. Now, you can look at other poops from other reptiles. So you will see different pinworms in different shapes. I will tell you, the bearded dragon pinworm is a very crude beast. It's kind of ugly. The chameleon pinworms have a very nice shape and it's distinct, and so I much prefer the chameleon pinworms. As Anne believes that this is a hookworm ova. Mostly. I would, if I saw this, I would say, yeah, probably a hookworm. But that's only because there's a number of nematodes, the worms, that look like this. But hookworm looks like this. So we just call it hookworm. It's okay to not know exactly what species it is because they're all taken care of with fenbendazole. So yeah, I would say hookworm. I would say hookworm. And Leander says hookworm. And Janet says what Eliza Ann said. That's you're safe. You're safe doing that, Janet. I need more studying and to look at more worms. Yes, we get into some strange things here at the Chameleon Academy. Hello, Robin. All right, everybody. I think I've got, what, 2 more? Yeah, I've got, okay, 3 more. This will be fun. 3 more. What is this? And I am looking for a genus, not just a type. Marsha, what do we think? All right. Well, I know. Oh, Eliza Ann comes through. Coccidia. This is correct, but that's just the type of parasite. Who can get me down to the genus level? I will accept 2 of the 3 genuses that we usually work with. Robin has a visitor to show around. Well, just play this in the background. So, yes, Eliza Ann is correct. It is Coccidia. James, I'm good for 1 answer a week. Okay, she has met her quota and she is taking the rest of the week off. It's not an oocyst. It is an oocyst, Janet. Very, very good. Yes. Even though you said it's not an oocyst, and it is, the fact that you knew oocyst to make that judgment is very good. Coccidia, you are correct. Oops, what the heck happened there? I think it is caring for babies. That is a clue. This is, everybody, there are 3 genuses of Coccidia that we generally work with. There are so many different Coccidias out there. It is ridiculous. We don't need that many Coccidias. But management is not responding to my emails. This is either an Emeria or a Coleoemeria Coccidia. Now, those 2 are very difficult to tell apart because the real difference is where they sporulate, where they develop. And so this is a sporulated, meaning it's a developed oocyst. And so it's going to be very difficult to tell between those 2 genuses which it is. But there you can see the 4 cytoplasmic things in there. And that is a sporulated oocyst. Dang, I was wrong. Well, actually, Eliza Ann, you just were looking ahead. You were looking ahead. You were before your time, shall we say. This is, anybody know what this is? Well, Liza Ann just, of course, was ahead of her time. Isospora. This is the other genus of Coccidia, the Isospora. And this is the kind of stuff you get to see in Bearded Dragons a lot. In fact, I had such a hard time finding it in chameleons, I had to go to the pet store and ask for bearded dragon poop so I could get these beautiful photographs. So, and sporulated. Yes, this is sporulated. Mars says, I'm going to have to take next week off with that answer. Well, we appreciate you giving it all in this week. So this is another Coccidia. And these are the things that you can see very easily with a little bit of training, just learning how to look through the microscope and learning what it looks like. And we'll go ahead and give the final one. This is a nematode. It's a worm. And sometimes you'll see adult worms. And if there's adult worms, that gives you a clue. There's very few that actually turn into adult worms. Most of them are ova until they are swallowed. There are some of them, the life cycle has them actually hatch. And sometimes they come out as worms. Do they always have pink? Pink. What do you mean by pink? Oh! No, that's just an artifact of the microscope light. Like this blue tinge, that's an artifact of the type of light that the microscope has. So these colors are not true to what you'd actually see. This is what I see through the microscope, but the actual, there's no pink, there's no blue. There's just no color. So, you just need to test some poop. Oh, Robin, you have so much poop. I mean that in the best sort of way. Yeah, Robin's got access to so much poop. You could have a field day in that facility that you're in. So, looks like the letter Q. Yes, and you can actually see these things twirling around. Now, you got to be really careful, because if you get poop and it lands in a potted plant or something like that, there is so many nematodes that live in the soil that are not parasitic. But when the poop falls down, they will go to it. And so if you pick poop off of out of the dirt that's been there for a day, and then you look at it under the microscope, you are going to panic, because it looks like your chameleon is full of all of these worms and life and such. The fact is, those came in through the soil. They're not parasitic. So that's one of the lessons that you learn when you do this. Bill, sometimes my slide pops up from the metal arm grips. Is there a way to prevent that? We have the same microscope. That could be because the tension is too tight, or there's water or fluid on the stage. One of those two. Now, let me know which microscope you're talking about. I have 4 microscopes, and so just let me know which one you're talking about, and I'll take a closer look and see if I can figure out what you can do. But generally, that's because the tension is too tight. Yeah, that's basically it. What the heck? Is there somebody here?
Trying to get her in here.
Oh, Yvette's still here. I thought you were gone.
I know, we were talking online.
Okay, you want to say hello to everybody?
Hi.
Okay, good enough. All right. Oh. All right, everybody. And of course, you can learn how to do this by taking the Hunting Microscopic Chameleon Parasites course on the virtual campus. It's there for you. I think it's an It's an incredibly fun thing to do. And it's so helpful for your chameleon because you can detect a parasitic infection when it is so small that your chameleon doesn't notice it at all. And it is not affecting health at all. And when it's that small, you can knock it out so easily. And so those of us who are doing our fecals, we're able to knock out a parasitic infection just when it starts. And then we just, because we know, and we still have to go to the vet to get the medicine. This is not replacing the vet, but it means we're not just taking the chameleon to the vet whenever we notice it's sick, which is way far into the infection, or else if you're doing an annual wellness visit. So maybe you get a checkup every year. This allows us to do a checkup every week if we want to. And it's just such a good skill to have. Okay, you've got the Amscope. Okay, I'll refresh myself. I've been working with the Motique BA310, which is a dream machine of a microscope. But the B120 is a very good one as well. They just have different stages, mechanical stages. So I'm going to pull that one out and figure out what's going on. All right, next thing that I am suggesting as a fun project is to breed a feeder insect. And this is, once you get good at it, then you can really reduce the amount of money you spend on feeders. Now, there's a lot of work that goes into breeding a feeder insect and keeping like a sustained colony. So you're able to pull things out to feed your chameleon. And it's a skill and it's a lot of effort, and you got to keep on top of it. You can't just ignore it, especially if you're dealing with crickets. It's amazing that the dubia don't take as much. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and condone not giving them attention every day, but crickets, you got to really keep on top of that. All right, everybody. I really want to share something. Give me a second here. James, maybe you could explain what the heck is going on here. Let's see. Okay, where is this? How do I get this? Give me a second here as I try to work my system and get this out, because I want to show you this. This is so fun. Ah, come on. Here we go. There we go. This is what we call a nightmare. This is what we call getting in trouble with your spouse. James says, I just sent you a picture of my feeder bin. Got out of control yesterday because I forgot to shut the lid. James, what kind of road? Those are not dubia. Dubia don't climb plastic. What are they? I'm trying to see what they are. Are those hissers? It's very easy to breed dubias. I'm so sad that I developed an allergy to them. Yeah, you got to be careful. Dubias, we can develop allergies to them. Robin says, can I get my hoppers to breed? I got them to breed. I got them to lay eggs, but I couldn't get the eggs to hatch. It's like hoppers are not easy. Was speeding outside and forgot to shut the lid. I came in an hour later and they were all over the place. Here we go. Oh boy. Discoid and orange heads. All right. All right. Well, we don't know what we need we need this rest of the story because we don't know that she caught him. And as long as she doesn't watch this show, he's okay. Let's see. I was so lucky to get them all cleaned up before she got home. Yeah. You do not want this on your record. Oh boy. My girlfriend would kick me out into the streets if that happened. Yeah, this is what we're seeing here is not the way to get in good with your spouse. Yeah. Whoops. I don't know. I've done with my feet, just ran around smashing them as quickly as I could. My wife's going to be home any minute. Okay, we're not going to be talking about this anymore. Okay, back to the regular session. Green Acres Athens, can you share any information on Elliot's chameleons? Treat them like Jackson's chameleons and you'll be fine. They're live bearing, a little mini live bearer, and treat them like Jackson's chameleons and you'll work. So whenever you have a chameleon, like a rare chameleon species, it's good to find a representation. We have so much information on Jackson's chameleons, you'll be fine. Now, you go to the Chameleon Academy, there's actually a care guide on, you go to the species profiles, there's a care guide on Ellioti, and there's a podcast episode, interview with Michael Nash on that. So we do have information on Trioceras Ellioti. Yes. Everyone on here needs to take a vow of silence for James's safety. Yes. For James. Oh. I always like making Bill feel uncomfortable with my. I gotta watch out how I'm. This is a family show. I gotta watch out. Yeah. And he says, I like the black line on the gular of the Elliot's chameleon. Yes. Yes. Very good. Very nice. Thanks. I dare not post that picture on Instagram. You see, Eliza, this is the give and take. Apparently, he has some blackmail videos on me. And so I've got to collect these pictures on him. So, yes, if anybody's wondering what's going on, apparently after I had oral surgery and I was under the influence of the anesthetic, for whatever reason, I videoed myself saying things and I sent it to James where I was giving my philosophical views on the world. So I was very surprised when he said he had videos. I said, I never sent you anything. Yeah, apparently I did. Apparently I did. Those are the best videos I've ever gotten of you. Comedy gold. Yvette told me to put the phone down. She said, Bill, put the phone down. Oh, all right. I think we've talked enough about feeder insects. There's my dubia. I actually am breeding dubia roaches. Not seriously, but apparently I'm doing okay. And if you're if you've got babies, you will be making breeding bean beetles and fruit flies. I mean, you don't have to, but it's a great. They're so easy to breed, and it's so good for your little babies. All right, the next thing that I'm going to suggest is add a soil floor. And this is not something that you need to do for your chameleon. Most chameleons, there's some specialty chameleons that do really well with soil floors, but it does add something to your chameleon's life. And you get this hydration gradient, the humidity gradient, and it's very cool. I mean, it's fun to do this. See, these are some examples of ones that I've done in both small cages and large cages. And I think it adds to your chameleon's, the quality of your chameleon's life. And I think just the attention that you give it adds to the quality of your chameleon's life. I had oral surgery this week, and they didn't give me no. Well, this is the first time I've had oral surgery a lot, and most of the time they just Novocaine to me, but this time I guess they were serious, and so I needed something serious. But this is the first time I've ever been put like to sleep for this. It was really interesting. It's just like I closed my eyes, opened my eyes, and it's like, oh, I'm back, and everything was done. All right, next project that is so cool is to do an outdoor cage. And I know we all have different number of months that the chameleons can be outside, but it's so good for them to have that outdoors time. Now, I know I keep talking about these large outdoor enclosures, like the 4 foot by 4 foot by 7 foot. Not everybody is able to do that. If you're not able to do that, these cages that I'm showing right here are a very cool project that you can do. It's just a planter box to the same dimensions as your cage and on casters. And you can move these around the yard. They aren't big enough to give your chameleon total protection from the afternoon sun, at least not the California afternoon sun. And so that's why you have casters on them. And during the afternoon, you can move them, or you can just move them around depending upon the year to where they get the sun up until about 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning, and then they're in the shade. Just move them to the place that gets that. So Bill, if I did this, could I just put it straight on my screen, or bad idea? Give me context. This was like 2 minutes ago. So should I put it straight on my screen? Are you talking about the soil floor? Let me know if you're talking about that. Alicia, give me some context for this question, and we will answer this question. Mabel and Pearl says, I'm having a hard time getting my humidity up. Do you recommend covering all sides of the XL screen cage? Yes, I do. I say all sides except the top and 1-inch strip of the bottom flip-up door. I cover it with everything else with clear plastic, except a 1-inch strip on the clear plastic on the flip-up service door, and the top. I do cover the door as well with the window plastic. Yes. Yes. I have the galvanized screen. The natural floor. You can actually, it's amazing how you can just put soil into a screen cage. You would think, oh no, the screen won't hold. The screen will hold it just fine. You just get your screen cage and just pour soil into it, and the screen will hold the soil. Now, the soil will dry out a little bit faster than it would otherwise because it's exposed on the sides, but your screen will hold it. The way I do it is I fill up the screen and then I put plastic on the outside, and that plastic is not coroplast. It's not to hold in the soil, it's to hold in the moisture. It's amazing how easy it is to put in a soil floor. Now, just know the screen isn't the strongest, and so there could be some accidents, but it is impressive how much the screen will hold. See, Robin's in process of moving ours inside. Not happy. Getting down to the low 30s tomorrow. That is a very good reason to bring chameleons in. Oh, boy. Oh. Now, if you have these outdoor cages, your chameleons don't have to be in those cages all year. I love having an indoor cage and an outdoor cage. This is the kind of stuff that happens in my outdoor cages. They're a lot of fun. Now, if you're interested, if you say, wow, that looks really cool, how do I do it? I actually have a video on the Chameleon Academy YouTube channel. Make your own outdoor chameleon planter box cage. Look up that thing and you will find a video on how to make this. And it's really simple, really simple. So you just get the right wood. And you notice in all of these, I use anyway, I found a better, after talking with James, I found a better way and I made a video how to do it in a better way. And oh, there's an example. There's an example of me. These are smaller cages. I want to say you can do it for babies as well. These are smaller cages, just the 30-inch Zoom Ed cage. And I just poured soil into it. And all of that plastic you see at the bottom, that's not to hold the soil in. That is to hold the moisture in. And it was very easy. So at that size of a cage, simple. Have you guys had issues with rats or raccoons getting through the Reptus Breeze type mesh? If a raccoon wanted in, I'm not sure how to stop them. I have only had one break-in, and that was by a rat that got through the screen. Yes, if a possum, raccoon, bear, I've heard of bears coming after, if they want to get in, they can. They just usually don't have a reason to get in because they apparently don't see the chameleon sitting there. Now, if you have a lot of feeders running around in there, or you put in some fruit to feed the feeders, you may start getting into trouble. But this is part of what you got to do if you have an outdoor keeping, is got to be careful about the wildlife, not only raccoons or rats or possums, but also birds, especially if you they can't easily get through the fine mesh. But if you have the 1/4 inch or the 1/2 inch hardware cloth, the beats can get in if the chameleon is crawling on the top. And I've had that. I've had chameleons lose, in 2 instances, I had chameleons lose legs because they were on the side of the cage. One time a possum grabbed a chameleon, tried to pull him through, and the other time a bird did. In both instances, the chameleons lost a leg and went on to live many years, and they recovered just fine. I don't recommend that, but it's amazing how hardy chameleons actually are. Or just bring them in the night. There's Eliza Ann with the solutions. That is correct. Susan says, I lost my oldest female to a king snake. And I've had people I knew of someone who let their chameleon go on a tree and it got snagged by a falcon. So we do have to be careful as to what's going on. And now we have the warning. Once you get to this point in your chameleon journey, that's when you feel all powerful, because now you know how to do it. And there are so many cool chameleons. Got to collect them all. And that is what a number of us have done. That is what I did. And that is what I am trying to wean myself from. I have been very much more responsible in the last number of years. But it's when you get to that first level of confidence and you think chameleons are the most incredible thing in the world, which you are absolutely correct. It's very easy just to get too many. And so when's it too many? It's 100% up to you. How many chameleons can you maintain at the top husbandry? Your guide is to when you are on the wrong side of this is when you start bringing in smaller cages and the cages aren't as good. You don't have as much time to take care of them. That's yourself. Your signals to yourself. Okay, I've gone one too far. And so the idea, of course, is to stop it before it gets to that point. But it's really up to you and to what you can handle money wise and time wise. I think 4 is my magic number. It's good to know your number. Bill, just wanted to let you know when I got my girl and her being so tiny, I went straight to fruit flies and mashed banana cups, like you said. Thank you. Excellent. Glad to hear that. Yeah, that's perfect. Sure, Bill. Until your friend gives you one or you make friends with an importer, I swore I wasn't going to have more than 10. I got to be careful. James, be very careful who you accept as friends. I can't tell you how much trouble you can get into if you fall into the wrong crowd. So best of luck, James, because, once you're there, it's really hard to pull yourself out. Good luck, man. Good luck. It says, I want a brevicorn so bad, but between the veiled panthers and Vividus, I have to tell myself no. Plus possible babies coming. Yes. Oh, yeah. Watch out for the loophole. Oh, I can handle one more chameleon who happens to be a Grava Jackson's chameleon. I know these loopholes. I wrote many of them. Yeah. Robin says, need to find homes for 3 cams, 1 male and 2 female veileds. Free, just need to get homes for them. All right, everybody. Contact Robin if you'd like some veiled chameleons. Well, James, I remember you saying 10. Oh, I think his wife said 10. He just agreed to it. That's not the same as saying it. As in, friends that bring that kind of trouble are the best kind of people to surround yourself with. Oh. All right, my friends. We are coming to the end of yet another fun episode where we all hang out together and talk chameleons and shenanigan around. And so I want to say thank you so much for making Saturday a fun place to be. I am working very hard on that app and hope to get it out. You should be able to get at it week after next. So that's been on my mind, and I've been working so hard on that. So hard on that, we're going to have to see. The newsletter may be a day or two late this week because I need to know. I will know when I send the newsletter out. That's when I know if I'm going to be able to have a video out this week. I think I will, but the newsletter will have, if I am able to do it, the newsletter will have the link. So the newsletter may be out Monday or maybe Tuesday, but when I know. So let's see. Everyone you get a new chameleon, just buy her something you know she loves as well. That way she may turn a blind eye. Good. Liza Ann, you are just a problem solver. I like that. James says, I did that with the O'Shaughnessy. I had 3 chameleons ago. Oh, yeah. Bill, can you share the photo update? Oh, that's right. I have a bunch of chameleons I wanted to show. Alicia, I'm going to have on next Saturday. I got a lot of fun stuff from Alicia. I'm going to do that, and I'll share updates as to the babies here. So next week is going to be an update. So let's just agree right now. Next week is going to be Community Chameleons. If you would like to share with me your chameleons, send them to me at the email going across the bottom, bill@chameleonacademy.com. And we're going to have a celebration of community chameleons. Now, the one thing, please, make sure if you send me photos that they are in focus. Make sure they're photos that people would love to see. So don't make me say, yeah, this is really out of focus. People send me out of focus pictures, and they're not fun to put up. So just give me good pictures, and everybody, give me updates. And if I put your chameleons on before, Give me updates like Cuervo. We need to see Cuervo again. And so, how I do things with Brett, and he does the same things. Get him cool. Get him stuff. You're on vacation, Bill. We will be fine with it being like, yeah, I'm kind of on vacation. I'm just really excited about what's coming up and what we're doing. So, see, this is how it is. This app is not officially the things that I said I wasn't going to do on my vacation. And so now I'm spending my vacation on the app. I don't do vacations very well, and I need to do I don't know how to do vacations, but I'm going to work on it. So my quality, okay. Alicia, actually, I haven't opened up that email. I saw it, and I saw the thumbnails, and so I actually haven't opened it. I completely forgot. Yes. So, all right, everybody. It is past, and I will see you Tuesday. Tuesday, we'll be right back here at 5 p.m. Pacific for the open question and answer session. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next time.